Boys, UFC 308 is finished. We got through it. I needed a little bit of a break before I made this video. I'm not gonna lie. I'm heartbroken, to say the least. If you guys saw any of my Twitter, you knew your boy was going through it. But heart-wrenching, heartbroken, doesn't even explain it. But, you know, Topuria is him. You know, it is what it is. You know, at first, I wasn't the biggest Topuria fan, but he's too good. He is going to go down as featherweight GOAT, mark my words. And to be honest, I could see a double championship fight in the future where I would bet him to win. But as you can see on screen, we have every single winner, a couple losers here. And we're going to do some rare matchmaking, match them up with who I think they should fight next. Now, some of this matchup was a little bit harder just because I didn't personally want to match them up with these people, but I just know the UFC is going to match them up with these guys. We're also going to quickly talk about some of the fights as we get to it, but like I said, first off, heartbreaking doesn't even explain this fight. Let's just start from the beginning, you know. Before we do any of the matchmaking, first, my boy Chris Barnett loses. Doesn't just lose, you know, a fair fight. This boy TC'd himself. He jumped up and blew out his knee right away, or his leg, whatever. This boy needs to go on a diet. He has too much weight on his body for his poor legs to support him. It blew out. It was ready. Like, as soon as that happened, I should have known this card was cursed to be nothing but heartbreak, to be honest. Let's go down. Uga fucking Booga, Mayatik Oralbai, also lost. Got fight of the night, but Uga Booga, man, fuck. I thought this guy, like, I had such high hopes for this guy. He was going to be, like, a title contender, but I don't know. It is what it is. Uga Booga ended up losing this fight. Then into the main card, you know. First off, you know, my boy Dan Ige, so close to getting it done in that first round. He lost as well. And then, you know, Robert Whittaker, I did say I did change my prediction for Chimaev first round submission. That's what happened. Just, it feels bad. And then the cherry on top, just to make it even worse, my boy Max Holloway gets knocked out for the first time. You know, when this happened, I felt like throwing up. It was terrible. Regardless, let's run through some of this matchmaking. As you can see, Ilia Topuria right here. I think the obvious person next, you know, again, I didn't personally want this. I want him to fight like a Diego Lopez next, but UFC is gonna do this. Dana already said in the press conference they're gonna do this fight next. He came into the octagon, Volkanovski. It is what it is. It sucks to see. I could see Topuria wanting to take a little bit of time off and Volkanovski want to get in there right away. I could see Volkanovski versus Lopez for an interim title shot. I could see that happening, but I don't really want that to happen. Just get Volkanovski in there, get it done with. Unfortunately, I think Ilia is going to go down as featherweight GOAT and one of the best to ever do it. I don't know who beats this guy. And I did say, you know, I have been saying for a little bit, I wasn't the biggest fan of Topuria, the little retard of it. I wasn't the biggest fan of him, but, you know, I think I wasn't the biggest fan of him because, you know, there's a little bit too much arrogance, a little bit too much, you know, disrespect coming to my boy Volkanovski on that Volkanovski side, but he's just hyping up the fight. In the octagon, this guy is a killer. Unless Jesus Christ himself comes down here to fight Ilia Topuria, I'm not picking anyone to beat him in the near future, to be honest. But Ilia Topuria, Volkanovski, let's run this one next. Let's go down. Max Holloway. What do we do with Max Holloway? That's the question that I was asking myself, you know, pretty much since he lost, because I don't really want to see him down in the featherweight division anymore. You know, I want him in fun matchups. I want him in big money matchups. If that's 2 to 3 more times in his career, as long as they're big money matchups, that's fine. I think we're going up to lightweight, and in lightweight I still want to give him like a top 10 guy, and that top 10 guy is going to be the loser of the upcoming pay-per-view fight, Michael Chandler. Now, I do think Chandler is going to get knocked out again by Charles Oliveira, but yeah, I don't think Chandler's fighting Conor. I don't think Conor is coming back. Dana might be saying, yeah, for sure, he's coming back 2025. Bullshit. I don't think it's happening. Conor McGregor is retired. He's a retired coke addict at this point. Let's do Max Holloway versus Chandler. But at the end, like, this is the part that scares me, that now that, you know, Holloway's chin has got cracked, is it one of these situations where he's not going to be able to get hit anymore? Is it one of these situations where, you know, even shots that wouldn't even wobble him, it's going to start wobbling him? That's why I want him against Chandler at 155. Yes, Chandler does hit hard, but sloppy shots. I think Holloway would do very well against Chandler. Plus, just fun, interesting matchups for Max Holloway now. I honestly, there's a lot of people that you can do with Holloway. Holloway, you could do Dustin Poirier for the BMF belt again, you know, but I don't know if I want to see that. It's just a very confusing time right now for Holloway. Plus, I don't think we're going to see him, for sure, not for half a year, I think at least. So let's keep moving down. Chimaev got it done over Whittaker. Just that I thought that was going to happen. I did say in my prediction videos, I had like a prediction from the MMA gods telling me what was going to happen. No, this boy ran through Robert Whittaker. If you guys didn't watch my video on how Chimaev can get his height back, the very first thing I said in that video is he needs to run over Robert Whittaker like it was nothing. That's exactly what he did. I think it was one of the elbows, the ground and pound elbows, or even just a shot to the face. I think that cracked Whittaker's chin. And then once he got him in that face crank, it just ripped it apart. It's disgusting. If you guys haven't seen that picture floating around, disgusting. Now, I don't think he's next for the belt. I think his next fight is going to be for the belt, but I think there's going to be a title fight in between there. I'm pretty sure Dana's already came up and said, yeah, Strickland is next. So I want to see Chimaev fight the winner of that fight, which I think is going to be DDP. I think DDP is going to get it done again. And, you know, even if it's not DDP, even if Strickland wins, you can put Strickland there. Regardless, I just want him to fight the winner of Strickland versus DDP. And yeah, I pretty much already went over the game plan I want Chimaev to do. And in that video I made, so if you guys haven't yet, go watch that video. But I think DDP's next for Chimaev. Let's go down. Robert Whittaker. Sad to see, you know, we're literally living in a timeline where Holloway and Whittaker both got finished. And I don't know. And even the judging on this card, so biased. Fuck Abu Dhabi. Fuck every single judge that was there. So biased. I don't know how Ilia Topuria won all 2 rounds. Bullshit to me. And even the very first fight of the card, don't even get me started on that. We'll get to that, but don't get me started on that right now. Let's go down. Whittaker, you know, we're not going to see Whittaker for a minute. And the thing that's also worrying is this man's chin is broken. It literally got broken. It's not like he cracked his chin and knocked him out. No, it quite literally cracked. So does that mean his chin's going to be even worse? I don't know. But I want him to fight the loser of that title fight, which I think is going to be Sean Strickland. So if his chin is gone, give him something like a Sean Strickland, you know, not the hardest hitter in this middleweight division. And yeah, again, we're not going to see Whittaker for a minute, so let's have a title fight go around. Probably will be a war for Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland will need time to recover. By then, hopefully Whittaker's ready to go. Let's keep moving down this light heavyweight division. Magomed Ankalaev got it done. Another boring decision, but it is what it is. It's time we just end this, you know, give him Pereira. Although, I'm going to say this right now because I could 100% see this happening. Next month, Jon Jones, Stipe. Stipe and Jon Jones might both retire, to be honest. I could 100% see that happening. You know what that means? We need a unified, undisputed title fight. We already have an interim title holder. So Pereira has talked about going up to heavyweight. I would not be surprised if we see Magomed have to either wait out or fight another contender while Pereira goes up to heavyweight to be a 3-weight champion. So I could see that shit happening, but for right now, I think his next fight should be Pereira, and I think Pereira sleeps Magomed. So keep moving down. Featherweight division. Dan Ige was so close to finishing Lerone Murphy. It is what it is. Murphy got it done. I believe he called out Josh Emmett. I don't think that's a good matchup for him, but he called him out. Let's match him up with Josh Emmett next. I love it when they call out their next opponent. So typically, unless it's something like super outlandish, like Shara Bullock calling out Izzy, unless it's something stupid like that, I tend to try to give those guys the guys they called out. And, you know, Lerone Murphy and Josh Emmett, not too far apart in the rankings and are really realistic next matchup. Let's go down. Shara Bullock got it done. Turned his ass into a Beyblade. I can't wait for his next fight. I hope he just comes out here and continuously spins until he gets a spinning back fist knockout. I think that would be hilarious. A 20 combination spinning back fist. That might be the new meta for the UFC, but he got done. First ever double spinning back fist KO. It is what it is. Let's match him up. You know, I don't want to give him a ranked opponent just yet. We're going to give him someone who, you know, he's also on a little bit of a win streak here. And the winner of this should get a top 15 fighter. That guy's going to be Jacob Malkoun. I think this is a good matchup. Plus, like I said, Jacob, he's also one fight away from being into the rankings himself. Both of them are just outside the rankings. And right now, yes, Shara Bullet might be very promotable. I could see the UFC giving him a top 15 fighter. I say we hold off just right now, because to be honest, other than that KO he got, he hasn't been super impressive. But yeah, I don't want to quickly fraud check him just yet. I think this matchup coming up would be a hard matchup for him, but I think he could win that one. Then we can see him in the top 15. I don't know if he's like a top 10 fighter though. So let's keep moving down, you guys. That's all of the main cards. Let's quickly run through these prelims now. We'll go pretty fast because I know a lot of guys don't really care for the prelims, but Ibo got it done over Rafael. Honestly, I don't know. Cut that guy immediately. I don't think he threw a single shot, to be honest. And when he did, man, did he not know how to defend himself one bit? He's Brazilian. He should be able to, take him down or something when he's getting pieced up against the fence. But terrible fight for Rafael. Ibo got it done. And even this guy saying he's coming for everybody. He wants top 10, top 15. He wants the title shot. Let's hold on for just a minute there. Let's give him Dustin Jacoby. Jacoby just coming off a KO to Dominic Reyes, so pretty promotable right now. Let's give him Dustin next. I think that would be a fun matchup. Plus, I think Ibo sleeps that man as well, so you can keep promoting this guy. I kind of understand why they move this guy to the main event of the prelims now, but I wasn't very impressed because it just looked like shit. Looked like he doesn't deserve to be there. Imagine being the 11 guys that Rafael beat, because this guy was undefeated going into that fight. Crazy. Let's keep moving down. Geoff Nea got it done. First round KO. I told you guys in the prediction video I was keeping it nice, sweet, and fast for you guys. RDA is 40 years old. Blew out his knee, 40-year-old knee. So what do you expect? Geoff Nea, let's match Geoff Nea up. We're not going to match him up with someone up the rankings because at the end of the day, Geoff Nea is never going to be like title contender worthy. Let's give him someone to build a name off. We're going to give him Randy Brown. Randy Brown, I could see getting it done over Geoff Nea. Let's go down to the depressing part. My boy Uga Booga fucking lost. But Mateusz Rębecki won. Good fight for Rębecki, fight of the night. Let's give Mateusz Rębecki, he's only lost once in the UFC, twice in his whole career. Let's give him Goran Kutseledze. Winner of that, we can look at a top 15 fighter. I don't want to fully give Rębecki a top 15 because that lightweight division is dangerous in the top 15. Let's give him one more fight. Then we see where it goes from there. Plus, this guy didn't make weight. So maybe if he can't make weight again, I know it's the first time he struggled with that, but something to keep an eye on. Let's go down middleweight division. Abus got it done. Third round submission. Bruno Ferreira will come back. Bruno Ferreira is good. He was doing good in that matchup. He'll come back, but Abus got it done. I think a fun matchup for Abus. Someone we can get him closer to the rankings. And again, like another fight, if he wins this, we can look at it a top 15 level fighter. I think RoboCop would be a super fun matchup in this for Abus. That could even be like a main event of a non-pay-per-view event. So let's do that one next. Heavyweight division. Again, I don't want to talk about this. My boy Chris Barnett. This guy needs to go on a diet. Heavily, the fact that he jumps up and the weight of himself crumbles his legs, it is what it is. Kennedy got it done. Let's match him up with the original matchup he was supposed to have against Tafa. I can't really reward Kennedy with anyone super high, considering fucking Chris Barnett hurt himself before the fight began. The fight was over before it started, so let's run back the Tafa fight. Plus, he was already in a training camp for Tafa, so it shouldn't be too hard for both these guys to accept that fight. Moving down, Farid Basharat got it done over Victor Hugo. A little worrying at moments, but he got it done. And I think Farid Basharat is 2 more fights away from top 15. And right now, I think a stupidly underrated fight that, again, maybe you can even have as a co-main event of a non-pay-per-view fight. I think Ricky Simon versus Farid Basharat would be a good fight. If Farid Basharat just had power, this guy could be, a huge problem in that featherweight division. It could go down as like the GOAT because he looked really good other than having zero power. But let's keep moving down. Middleweight division. Ismail got it done. I think watching this fight, I tweeted about it. I think we just watched Bruno Silva's last fight. At least in the UFC, he looked like garbage in this fight. But Ismail got it done. I think a good matchup for him. It could be like a 50-50 level matchup because the guys I'm going to match him up with is so inconsistent. Edmund Shabazian coming off a GM3 loss. So let's match these two up now. I think it'd be a fun matchup. It's either, Edmund is completely washed out. And if that is the case, we can build off the Edmund name because Edmund does have, a little bit of a name to himself. But I think that should be what's next. Let's go down welterweight division. Rinat didn't win that fight. Let's be realistic. Rinat did not win that fight. That was by far the biggest robbery. You know, people always say this was the biggest robbery. I think this was quite literally the biggest robbery in UFC history, but it was terrible. So Carlos Leal got it done. And because of that, Rinat was pretty high up in those rankings, like top 20 level. Carlos Leal, let's match him with Santiago Ponzinibbio. I think that'd be a fun matchup, and that's every single guy. Let me know in the comments below. Would you match up any of these guys differently, especially for Max Holloway? If you disagree with that one, let me know who would you match him up with instead. And then quickly look at this, boys. 99% of you guys watch this shit for free. Help your boy out get to 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, there's really not that much else left to say, except for I will see you guys in my next video.